Three for the Money is brought to you by the Trend Center app. This is the best tool for sports betting research. The Trend Center app, you can test betting systems from the past 20 years, explore thousands of existing trends and systems from top betting experts, choose from hundreds of filters to test different systems for each sport. Save these trends and get notified when their systems have games. Download the app and use our code TFTM for 15% off a premium membership after a 2-day free trial. Okay. We're here. We're back. It's Three for the Money. New episodes every Thursday, per usual. Brought to you by the Trend Center app. And it's the greatest tool on the planet for sports bettors. Definitely check that out. Link in the bio. 15% off a premium membership. The greatest tool on the planet for sports bettors. Right. Okay. I forgot to total up my wins from last week, so I'm going to throw it to Chris. How are you doing while I do this math?
All right, I'll try to take as long as possible then. I did I did much better than last week or 2 weeks ago, I should say. That was a debacle. I went 7-4. We'll take it. Hit my surefire for what feels like the first time in forever. So shout out to the Broncos. Shout out Jonathan Taylor for just being an all-time bozo. So thank you for that. And then I went 3-0 on Monday night. Kind of getting a little cautiously optimistic. Maybe your boy's turning the corner. I don't know. We'll see. I love the board this week, though, so I'm pretty pumped for week 16. Sean, how did you do?
5-5 on
All right.
Sunday, which I will take over. What was it, 1-9? I think last week,
Yeah.
and then 1-3 on Monday. So 6-8 total. Three of those were, or two of those were touchdown scores. I don't think I won a single one of my like actual spread picks. Yeah. Man, I mean, this week's been a roller coaster. It's been up and down. I'll happily take 5-5. I'll take anything over 1-9 though, to be honest. So, Will, you got your stuff?
Yes, took me long enough. With Monday, I ended up going 4-5. I hit my surefire pick, not too shabby. Shout out Jonathan Taylor for being a moron. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
But the tale of last week for me was just like, I don't know. It kind of like I got in my own head. I don't know. It was weird. It was like taking the Browns against the Chiefs. Like kind of like I said, like I feel like that was I wasn't gonna win either way. That's what it felt like. So, but obviously Chris won. So what the fuck ever. Anyway, moving on. It's week 16. Good God, it's almost over. Okay, week 16, first game, talking about Texans at Chiefs on Saturday. Chiefs in Arrowhead, -3 at home. What? I hate my pick, so I'm going to throw it to Chris first.
I'm taking the under 41.5. I don't trust either offense right now. I mean, the Texans offense just does not look good. And then the Chiefs offense, even with Mahomes last week, did not look good, especially when he went out. They were terrible, and he might not play this week. Honestly, if I was the Chiefs, I wouldn't play him until round one of the playoffs at least. So yeah, I just don't trust either offense to score 20 points because I mean the Chiefs were gifted that game last week by Jameis Winston. He threw 3 just god awful picks, and they still only scored 3 touchdowns. So I just don't see either team scoring 20. This might be a race to 17, and the Chiefs will win by 2 probably just because that's just what they do. But yeah, I'm taking under 41.5. Will, I'm anxious to hear what your pick is that you hate so much.
So this game had me in a pretzel, and whenever that happens, I just go to the Trend Center and I listen to them. So I have a stat here. It's the Texans +3. This trend is called Week 16 bangers. All right. Underdogs in Week 16 when the over/under is less than 52 and greater than 41, and the spread is less than 5. The underdog is 75, 33, and 1 against the spread. That is all I have. I have very little faith in either of these teams to cover a number. This is a blind trend that I'm taking. I'm riding it, and we're gonna see what happens. Sean, what do you think about this game?
Mahomes is probably out. Wentz is most likely in.
Oh
Um,
God.
but even with yeah, even with Mahomes out, you cannot stop the Chiefs' black magic. And I'm gonna do a little something a little unconventional that I don't do hardly ever. Texans first half money line is what I'm going with. I think the Texans can get out in front of this one pretty early. Wentz is pretty rusty, so while he warms up, I like the Texans to come out on top before halftime. That's plus 120 right now on DraftKings. So, yep, Texans first half money line.
Okay. Kind of a big brain play right there.
I kind of
Um,
love that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I will. Your stat reminded me of a stat that I also have written down from our good friends at the Trend Center. So CJ Stroud in his career, in the games he's played, the total has been between 41 and a half and 48 and a half, 22 times. Would you care to guess what the under's record is in those games?
Is it like 17 and 5?
Five.
I got it.
I'll do you one better. It's 19 and 3. 9 and 1 in the last 10. This was a trend last week on the Texans Dolphins game, and I ignored it because I'm a bozo. So I'm riding with it this week, and yes, under 41 and a half.
Mm, I like that. I like that stat. I like that stat. I was also a bozo last week. Moving on. Next game, Steelers at the Ravens, AFC North matchup. I Ravens -6 at home in Baltimore. I will gladly go first here. Uh, it's the under. What are we doing? What are we doing here? This last matchup that we had, I weeks ago, I had me in a pretzel. And why didn't I just ride with the trends? Ride with the trends. Steelers Ravens goes under. Under 45 is the play. This is this is automatic, right? Am I wrong, Chris?
No, you're not. I have under 45 as well. Again, I was a bozo last time these two teams played. I tried to get a little cute with it. I took the over. Never, like, it was dead as soon as they got off the bus. So yeah, these two teams, they when they play, the total goes under. It's gone over in 8 straight. I was leaning towards taking the Steelers +6, considering they kind of just have the Ravens number the last 5 years ish, 5 years it feels like. But I
Mm.
mean, their offense just looks terrible without Pickens, and I don't know if he's playing, and I don't trust him. So yes, it's under 45. Sean, do we have a clean sweep?
Not officially, but I will ride because I forgot about that as well. But I'm leaning towards the Steelers plus 6.5. Um, I would I'm not sure if Pickens is going to play, but I'm assuming that's the reason they're such big dogs. I mean the Steelers can clinch the division with a win here. Um, the Steelers have won 8 out of their last 9 matchups against the Ravens. The
Wow.
Ravens haven't covered a 6.5 spread against the Steelers since 2019, December of 2019. I think it's all Steelers for me here. I pray to God that Pickens is going to play now, but if not, I will gladly go 1-1 on that under. So count me in, double dip, Steelers plus 6.5 and under 45.5.
Okay, that's also kind of a big number. So be favorable to
Yeah.
take the dog there. So I don't see that as a bad play either. Um, all right, next game, Sunday games. Eagles at the Commanders, another divisional matchup. The Manders are home underdogs by 3.5. Okay. I'm gonna throw it to Sean first. What do you think about this game?
Well, you boys shouldn't be surprised by this. I'm going to go over 45 and a half. Not only is this a Manders over, but the last time these two teams played a couple weeks ago, this was pretty one-sided. And I'm going with the notion. Oh, I'm sorry. I messed up. Um, yeah, the last time these two teams played, the Eagles won 26-18. It's pretty one-sided, but Manders put up some points. But if you go back, that was a short week for them. Um, they were playing the Steelers, who are a very physical team. They lost by one. Um, Rookie QB off a short week against a division rival. That's just kind of a recipe for disaster. So, I mean, these two teams are still fighting for the division. So I expect this one to get pretty offensively heavy. I really like the over. Not only that it's a Manders over, but Eagles 10 in a row. They're really good on the road. I think they're what are they 6-1 on the road in their last 7 or something.
It's
They've been
either
really
six
good on
and
the
one
road.
or 7-0. Yeah.
So, yeah. I like the over. Chris, what is your pick?
I'm rolling with the Birds minus 3.5. The Manders, they kind of suck right now. They were lifeless in the second half again once the Saints put in a quarterback with a pulse. No offense, Jake Hayner, but I mean, God, they should have lost that game. Like, I can't. I had 7.5, and they were cruising at halftime. I was like, "This is a win. I'm not really even going to pay attention to this game." I look up, and they're about to lose. But yeah, I mean, the Manders. It's not just that game. I know they mollywopped the Titans, but who doesn't these days? They got beat by Cooper Rush and the Cowboys, and then they, like you said, got beat by the Eagles. I just don't think they're that good right now, so I'm taking the Eagles minus 3.5. Um, Eagles like flexing on teams, and like you said, they're 6-1 or 7-0, whichever. Either one's really fucking good in their last 7 road games. So yeah, I'm riding with the Birds. Jalen Hurts also in his career as a favorite against teams above 500 is 14-6 against the spread. So I hate them. I hate their coach. I don't. I think Jalen Hurts is a little overrated. AJ Brown makes me just pine for the glory days. I hate the Eagles, but I'm taking them minus 3.5. Will, what are you taking?
I am also on the over. The Eagles are just mega white lava hot right now, and the Manders got to put up some of a fight here. They haven't in the past few weeks. It's been kind of rough sledding. Um, and they got to pull something out here. Um, it, I can't justify taking Manders plus 3.5. Uh, but the over 45.5, that looks mighty tasty. And so I will be taking that. And I don't know. I think that's going to crush. But I also think there's a possibility that the Eagles could score 46 of these points here. Um,
I mean,
yeah,
that's not out of the realm of possibility.
just calling a spade a spade. But yeah, okay, that's that game. Next Sunday game, Vikings at the Seahawks. Seahawks home dogs. Gino might not play. Home dogs by 3.5. This is a tough. This is a tough game to get a read on. Chris, what do you think about this game?
I I think this is I have a great read on this game. I'm taking under 42.5. Another under. Chrissy unders this week. Seattle's O line. We saw it last week on prime time. It's just in shambles. I mean, Gino was he was run for his life back there, and Sam Howell, God bless him, he's not very good with a clean pocket. And then you put someone in his face, and he just panics. But yeah, I'm taking the under. I think the Vikings are going to get after him. We know they love to blitz. Seattle's starting center might be hurt, might not play this game, which is bad news because he was the backup center to start the season, and their normal starting center retired in week 10. So if he can't play, then they will be forced to start an undrafted free agent, making his first career start. Good luck, Gino or Sam Howell, whoever's back there. Also, the Vikings, I don't know what to think about them. They're a very good football team, but their offense is good. I just at times looks very stagnant. They run the ball a lot. Seattle does have a good run defense. So I'm taking under 42.5. Also, might be some weather. I think there is a 90% chance of rain in Seattle at the moment. Shocker. But yeah, under 42.5 is the play.
What? It's gonna rain in Seattle?
Who'd have thunk it? Sean, what do you think?
Yeah, this is under 43.5 all day for me. Most likely Sam Howell under center. Vikings coming into Seattle, not under the best conditions for a team that plays in a dome. It's going to be gross. It's going to be rainy. Couple stats. The under is 5-2 in the last 7 Vikings games and 6-2 in the last 8 for the Seahawks. Yeah, this is a weather and trend bet for me. Under 43.5. Will, what you got?
So I did have the over written down because I think both teams really suck against the pass. Uh, but from everything that you guys are saying that I clearly did not look into at all, if it's raining, that's an under. That's an under. I switched my pick under 42.5. Uh, yeah, I mean that's kind of it. Neither team is pretty good against the pass, but Vikings blitz a lot, and if the Seahawks O line can't keep it together, then it's no matter who they put back there, it's not going to be a good time. So let's do under 42.5.
All right.
All right, so that's a clean sweep. Next game, Sunday Night Football, Bucks at the Cowboys in Jerry's World, plus 4.5 for the Cowboys at home, home dogs. You know what? I'll take this one. I'll take this one first. I'll take this one first. I'm going
Thanks.
over. I'm going over. I'm going over 48.5 here. The Bucks are. Mike Evans is back with a vengeance. I think he has to average something like 90 yards a game in order to keep up his yearly average of 1,000 yards per season. So I think they're back with a vengeance. I think they're kind of going to crush them, but I just cannot. I can't count on the Cowboys to do anything except have a bad defense and maybe score some points. They have some dogs on offense, like obviously CeeDee Lamb, and somehow are able to score some points here and there. But over 48.5, I love this pick. I love this pick. Sean, what do you think about this game?
Yeah, totally agree. Going with the prime time over. Um, it seems like the Cowboys don't really care that their season is basically over. They've won 3 of their last 4, and their offense has been finally waking up. They're averaging almost 28 points per game in their last 4. Um, Granted, against mediocre defenses, but guess what? That's exactly what the Bucks have. On the other side of the ball, we got the Bake Show and Mike Evans, downfield threats. Um, Also, Bucky Irving and Rashad White against Dallas's worst ranked run defense in the league. This could low key be an awesome game for teams that kind of still have a lot to play for. Falcons are creeping up on the Bucks in standings. Yeah, the NFC West or the NFC South is kind of still open. Yep. Um, they Bucks got to win this one, but I think this is going to be a shootout. Chris, do you concur or do you have another pick?
I concur. Another clean sweep. Everything you just said. Big Show is humming as just what he does. They're firing all cylinders. They're averaging 31 points a game their last 4 games. Yeah, Dallas's defense or offense, excuse me, is waking up. It's like finally. I don't really know why now. Like you should be losing these games, but nothing the Cowboys do ever makes sense. Um, at home, I mean, the Cowboys, we know they haven't won a game at home all season. Their defense has given up 33 points per game in Jerry's world. And yeah, I think the Bake Show takes over. I think they get a majority of these points, but I think Cooper Rush and company can put together something to get us this over. I like it. Um, I looked it up. Mike Evans needs to average 83 points yards per game. They have 3 games left, right?
I think so.
Okay, he needs 83 yards in all 3 games to get to 1,000. He's at 749 right now. So
Yeah.
whatever Mike Evans receiving yards is over, I will also be taking that. I know we're not a
Ooh.
prop show, but I'm just saying.
Could be good. I'm gonna make a note of that. I don't know why I didn't before.
We do have. I got some incentive stuff to go over at the end.
Oh yes. Oh, I love that. Yes.
Yeah,
We need to
Completely
do that.
forgot.
at the end of the because we're getting in the. It's that time, dude.
It is that
Oh,
time.
when we get to
It's
the
that
end,
time.
I have another thing I want to bring up, but let's keep going.
Okay,
Okay.
surefire picks.
Right. The main slate is over. The surefire picks are starting. These are our double unit plays of the week. Guaranteed not to lose. And Chris is going to go first, unless
All
he's
right.
looking something up.
I was just looking at what Mike Evans' yards total is back in. I don't think it's up yet because it's Wednesday, but
Correct.
I'm taking it, whatever it is. Going to go back to a game we just talked about. It's the play I had written down, but y'all talked me into the over. So now I'm going to go back to what I originally had. Bucks -4. Am I taking crazy pills? Why is this mine? Why are they only 4-point favorites? The Cowboys, like, I know they're playing better. They still suck.
I guess
Like,
because they're on a
woohoo.
road trip.
Will, you
What?
couldn't have you couldn't have teed me up for this stat any better.
Damn.
Oh, okay. All right.
Alley-oop.
We didn't even rehearse this. I like that. Glad you said that. This is according to our friends over at Trend Center. Since 2009, favorites on back-to-back road games who lost the previous game against the team they're currently playing. So in this case, it would be the Cowboys. That team is 29-9 against the spread. Has won 11 straight. I don't give a shit if it's on the road. The Bucks, they just win. We saw it last week. They beat the shit out of the Chargers, and the Chargers are actually a good team. The Cowboys are dead. Yeah, Bucks -4 all damn day. Give me the Bake Show. Let's go. Sean,
Right.
what is your surefire play?
All right. My double unit surefire play of the week is a big ol' stinker. It's Giants Falcons under 41.5.
Ooh.
Yikes.
Yeah. We're going to let that sink in for just a moment.
Oof.
You hate it, don't you?
I mean,
But
I
you
hate
also
that
kind of love it.
game. I
Yeah.
do like the pick.
The Giants could be starting Tim Boyle at quarterback.
Oh,
The carousel of QBs that they have just is coming more and more increasingly laughable. And the Falcons just don't trust Kirk to throw the ball anymore. Michael Penix is
Oh, okay.
making his first NFL start. This game is just gross. I do not expect any QB in this game to be exceptional. So under 41.5, it is for me. Will,
Yeah.
what do you got? Something better than that? You got anything better than that?
Will, what? What do you want?
what's up? Better than that. I did see a couple trends for the Giants Falcons under that I did not bother to write down because that game is quite stinky. But my double unit surefire play of the week is the Rams -3.5 playing the Jets in New York. The Jets absolutely fucking suck against teams with a pulse. If you have a pulse, you are going to win. And they beat the Jags last week, but like before that, name the last Jets win. You can't do it. You can't remember it.
I know they beat the Titans.
Yeah, I do know
That was,
that.
that was week 2.
Yeah. I don't know the last time they had a win. They probably had one after that, but
Well, they
shit, I
definitely
don't remember it.
did.
Means, you know what that means? It means it didn't happen. So, Rams -3.5. They're leading their division, but still tied with on their record with the Seahawks. And I mean, I think the Seahawks are going to lose this game here on on Sunday. But man, like the Rams, they're kind of hot right now. They've won their last three. They're they're firing. They're firing on all cylinders. They're playing some good football right now. I'm taking the Rams -3.5. They've been my surefire team a couple of different weeks this year since they've gotten healthy, and it has paid off. So I'm gonna keep riding them. I'm gonna keep riding them. Rams -3.5. They are competent. The Jets are not. Okay. All right. That's it. Um, that's our surefire picks. We are actually going very, very fast. Didn't even know we were going that fast.
If
Anyway,
you're going to be anything, be efficient.
right. Be efficient. Okay. Extra plays. Extra plays for the week. What are our extra plays, Sean?
All right, extra plays. First one I got is Bills -14.5. This one's a little tricky for me because I kind of don't like these big spread games. Um, but as we know, the Bills are monsters, and they just put up numbies on the board. And it did a little digging, and the Pats have lost by at least 14.5 points 5 times this season, and the Bills have won by 14.5 points 5 times this season. So, perfect record. I'm going to take it. These numbers don't lie, and the Pats suck, and the Bills don't. So Bills -14.5 it is for me. All right, I got three more. Stinky game, Jags Raiders over 39.5. I love these stinky, I love these stinky games this week. But this one brings me to a trend I found from our friends at Trend Center, and it's called Poopy Team Overs. Pulitzer Prize winning name right there. But both teams have to have win percentages less than 30% and are playing teams in a different division. This trend is 72, 52, and 2, which has a 58% win percentage. I'm just going to keep rocking that. Next, Cardinals -4.5. Look, the Cardinals need to get some dubs in if they want a chance in making the playoffs. And luckily, they had the Pats last week, and they got the Panthers this week. So two shitbag teams. And that's really lucky for them because their next two games are against the Rams and the 49ers in the respectful weeks to come. So it's kind of a big game for the Cardinals. I think they come out swinging, and I like them to cover here. Next, going off of Will's surefire pick, but not directly. This was almost my surefire pick, and I'm glad it wasn't. But I wanted to make it a little more dramatic, I guess. But this one also comes from our friend at Trend Center, and I personally dug up some stats for it. It is Rams Jets over 46.5. The trend is Rams daytime overs. If the Rams have a noon start and the over under is set below 52.5, it is 16 2 and 1 all time and is on a 9-0 and 1 run in the last 10. Plus, the Jets have scored 26.5 points per game and have allowed almost 28 points per game in their last 4 games. And the Rams are averaging 24.5 points per game in their last 4. And if you add those numbers up, you get a greater number than 47. So, Rams Jets over 46.5 for me, please. And thank you. Will, what is the rest of your card?
So I only got one more play, and it actually goes against one of yours. It is the Raiders Jags under 39.5. Both these teams are really bad, and I have a trend from the Trend Center to back it up. Late season unders with teams falling off. 91, 47, and 3. We're going trend for trend here.
I don't think
I
these
don't,
teams are very bad. One of them is, but
but both of them are
oh,
very
did you
bad.
say Jags Raiders?
Yes.
My bad. I thought you said Rams Jets
I
for
was
some
gonna
reason.
Oh, no,
say.
no, 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 no.
Sorry. I was like, excuse me?
No, 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 no.
No,
This
you're right.
These teams are very bad.
No, you're
Very,
right.
very bad. So I'm taking the under, riding trend center. And that's the only play that I kind of liked. And I mean, like, I'm betting both. Isn't there two Monday night games again, or like two Thursday night games, something like that this
No,
week?
there's
There's
the
two
Saturday
Saturday.
games.
Whatever. I'm taking both. I'm taking both of those games anyway. So I'll have another pick. I just
Yeah.
don't have it right now. Chris, what are the
All
rest
right.
of your plays?
All right. Going off of one that Sean said, I've got Cards Panthers over 47. Um, Cardinals do need to start stacking some dubs, and I think they just kind of like flexing on teams. Also, both of these defenses are two of the worst in the league at getting to the quarterback, and both these quarterbacks are really good when they have clean pockets. So I think a lot of points can be scored here. Give me over 47. Lions team total over 27.5 against the dead Chicago Bears. The Bears don't care. They're on vacation already. The Lions could. I know they're playing for nothing. They could accidentally score 4 touchdowns against this team. They don't care. So yes,
I
Lions
think
team
they might
total.
be looking for revenge from their loss last week.
Oh yeah, they're just pissed off.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
could be really, really mad
I don't blame
and
'em. Hey,
and might score a lot of points.
I would love that as a Jared Goff fantasy owner. I would love that. No, no,
Yeah, me too.
but
The Lions team total is 27.5, if that's piquing your
sorry,
interest.
that's what I
Oh,
just said.
okay. Sorry. God damn it. I'm sorry.
Well, it does pique my interest because that's the play.
Oh, okay. Cool.
All right. All right, let's go. Not, I guess it's kind of a stinky under because both these teams are pretty much done. 49ers, Dolphins under 45. Niners offense is just bad. They can't do anything. They have scored more than 17 points once in the last 5 games, and that was against the aforementioned dead Bears. So now they have to go cross country. I don't think they're going to be up for this one. Tua played like hot garbage last week. I think the Dolphins are not dead, technically dead, but they're dead. So I think for them to win this game, I think McDaniel knows they're probably going to have to run the football. So I think they keep it on the ground. I think this game goes well under 45. I don't really say either team get to 20. And then the last one, let's get stinky. It is the Las Vegas Raiders money line against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Our boy AOC, Aiden O'Connell, is back probably. I don't think it's official
I
yet, but
thought you were talking about the senator,
I don't even know
the
who that
woman,
is. I don't even know who that is.
AOC.
I don't keep up with that.
Okay.
I don't keep up
Only,
with pop
there's only
culture.
one AOC in my life, and that's Aiden O'Connell. Like you guys, I also have a trend for this game. I don't know what the title is. I didn't write it down, but it says since 2017, home favorites on a losing streak who are playing a non-divisional opponent are 17-1 straight up, winners in 13 straight games. Antonio Pierce, we ride again. We're taking the Raiders money line. Aiden O'Connell or Desmond Ritter. He didn't look the worst. He didn't look good, but he didn't look as bad as he did with the Falcons on Monday Night Football. So, you know what? For old time's sake, Raiders money line to round it out, and that is the card.
Okay. Those are the cards. We did this really fast. All right. Moving on here. Talking about incentives, player incentives that Sean has a list of that I forgot existed. I forgot that player incentive existed. Sean, enlighten us.
All right. We're going to start off with Mike Evans, who from here on out, you should take his over on receptions and yards for the rest of the season. He needs 18 receptions and 251 receiving yards and one touchdown for $3 million. That is quite an incentive.
All right.
Baker is going to be putting that ball in that man's hands. Should I pause after that? That sounded like a
A
pause.
little, yeah, there's a little.
Putting his balls in his hands.
Yeah. All right.
Baker is. Jesus. Baker is also. He's a man of the people. He wants to get his boys paid.
He is.
Yeah.
Yep. So I would hammer Mike Evans props in the coming 3 weeks left in the season.
Yeah, we could make $3 million as well.
I mean,
Yeah,
we
we
could.
could.
Wouldn't that be wild?
That'd be wild.
Just saying. I mean, yeah. Go on.
Um,
Sorry.
yeah. Next one isn't for money, but would be cool. Brock Bowers needs 16 receptions to break Puka Nakua's rookie record. Um, Again, not for money, but more for glory. Um, Next, Cortland Sutton needs 187 receiving yards for $500,000. I'm not sure if this is worth like hammering his yards, but it's something to keep your eye on, especially in the coming at least 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks of the season. I would
How
keep
many
an eye
does he
on it.
need? What'd you say?
187 receiving yards.
Oh, okay. That's not a lot at all. He should be able to do that.
Yeah, he should.
Who do they play this?
I think they play the Chargers this week.
Chargers.
They do. They
Yeah,
play
do.
tomorrow. Yep.
Oh yeah, I was like, why didn't I see that on the slate? Okay, that makes sense.
Which could low key be a great game.
Oh, next week they play the Bengals. So if he doesn't have it yet, hammer that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. All right. Justice Hill needs 8 receptions for $250,000 and 125 rushing yards for another $250,000. Derrick Henry has already cashed all of his incentives, of course, because that man is a monster on 2 feet.
Yes.
Next, this one should be easy, especially the way that he's been playing this season. Tony Pollard needs 2 touchdowns for $200,000 and 118 rushing yards for $250,000. I'm pretty sure Tony Pollard only needs like 18 more rushing yards to get to the 1,000 mark. So they might be feeding him on Sunday.
Is he
Against the
healthy?
Colts. He should be.
Okay, I know he had the ankle thing and he didn't play a whole lot against Cincinnati.
Yeah,
So
I haven't really seen much. I'm trying to ignore Titans Twitter
I was going to
at the
say
moment.
most things about this franchise just makes me sad, so I kind of tend to avoid it. But
Yeah. So, next, Zach Ertz kind of has a lot that he needs, and I'm not really sure he can get there, if I'm being completely honest. He needs 6 receptions for 250,000, another 16 for another 250,000. He also needs 74 yards. Oh, he could get this. 74 yards for 250,000. And another 100 stacked on that for another 250,000. And he needs 2 touchdowns. And if he gets 4 touchdowns in the coming weeks, he'll get another 250,000. So, I mean, I think either way he could come out, about $1 million maybe. But he's sitting on about what was it, 2 mil of incentives. I think he gets half of that, for being honest.
yeah, I think those you said like 2 receptions and like 70 something yards for like the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can get that.
Yeah, he can get that, but to tackle on another 100 yards of what you already need, that's kind of tough.
Yeah. What I was talking about earlier, I saw this. It's not incentive based. It's just a brutal beat for anyone who had David Montgomery's rushing yards.
Yes.
Yes. Did you see that, Will?
I did not.
He had, so his rushing yards total coming to the season was 775 and a half. He's out for the season with some MCL, and he has 775 rushing yards.
Oh,
That's oh god, that's so
I
brutal.
I feel like what the sports books have to do is to void that bet. That to be a man of the people and just take your just give them the money back.
they're not men of the people.
Exactly.
They're
Yeah, it's
they're
like
really greedy
Be
people,
nice.
actually.
there's a reason
They're
all
not
those
nice.
buildings in Vegas are so shiny.
Well,
It's not
there
based
have
on
been
being nice.
moments where sports books have been like, ah, okay, we get it. Like a couple years ago when who was it that scored that first touchdown? They waved it off and then it like ended up being a touchdown. I think it was Travis Kelsey. I don't remember,
Yeah,
but
I vaguely remember this.
they were like, all right, whoever bet it, you get your bet back.
Hmm.
Well,
If this was like a single game thing, I can see it happening. I
yeah.
don't know. With the future, I don't know if I see it with them voiding it. It would be
That's,
really
I
nice
mean,
of them, but
yeah.
as someone who doesn't have that, I don't really care. But no, I just saw that on Twitter. I was like, God, that's Vegas called and told someone to take a dive at David Montgomery's knee. I don't
Damn.
even know how he got hurt, so I shouldn't say that. But that
Yeah.
was
I mean, that's just brutal. That's one of the most brutal things I've ever seen.
when you were talking about that first touchdown void thing. I don't know if this is what you were talking about, but just kind of made me think of it. Do you remember that one game when Tyreek Hill was playing for the Chiefs when he caught a touchdown, but it was like some circus catch and
That is what I'm thinking
what
about.
you're talking about?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
that
what he's
is what
talking
I'm
about. Yeah.
talking about.
Okay. I didn't know if that's what you're talking. It just made me think of it. So that's awesome.
Yes.
But
Okay. Glad.
yeah, and
Good.
he made that like circus catch
Hmm.
and nobody thought he caught it. And then it was they went or I mean they did I don't know if they did on the broadcast or if like the Twitter people got a hold of it and were like he caught
I
that.
think on the field, like they went and reviewed it and they were like, no. But
Oh,
then
was
like
that it? Okay.
in the booth, like they were like, how is that not a touchdown?
Okay.
Like and then
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
the people on Twitter were like, yeah, how is this not a touchdown?
yeah.
And then the sports books were like, yeah, this was a
Yeah,
touchdown. So you get your we'll void the bet pretty
that was
much.
crazy. Yeah, that was cool.
Hmm. I all this talk about futures made me look at my Garrett Wilson future. I only put down two futures. I had Garrett Wilson over 1100 and a half receiving yards, and now he's at 933, and he's got 3 games to get that. It is possible. It would
Yeah,
be really cool if that happened.
it's possible. I don't like in theory. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's gonna happen, but
And neither do I. He I remember like the first few games of the season, I was like, he's not even getting the ball thrown at him. What is what what do we do? This is why they suck. Um,
I mean that is kind of why they suck.
yeah, that's part of it. So not not gonna happen. So
I
could
only
maybe happen.
I only put down two futures. One Lions Super Bowl, which is going to happen. We all know that. And the
Of
other
course.
was Will Levis to lead the league in passing. So,
Oh, you actually put that down?
yeah, I put like a like quarter unit on it. It was like plus like I don't even remember a lot.
Right.
But yeah,
I mean, if he
I
wasn't a
don't think
moron,
that's going to hit.
yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
I'm looking at I got curious and I opened up my futures. I'm 1-1 so far. Um, over 6.5 wins for the Tennessee Titans. That's a loss.
Probably not
And
gonna
I
happen.
hit DeAndre Swift over 675.5 rushing yards. So that's pretty cool. Um, I do need to do some digging on some other ones, but New England Patriots under 4.5 wins. They're sitting at 3 right now. and they play the Bills, the Chargers, and the Bills again. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. And oh shit, Chris Olave over 1,050 yards. Yeah, that's probably not going to happen.
Is he
Chris, I
only out for
bet.
the season?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you
Okay.
have? Is it an ACL?
No, he's had like a million concussions.
Oh, is that okay?
Yeah.
I remember he had a couple. I didn't know if that's what kept him out.
I think he's had like two or three this season alone, and I think he had like another two or three last season.
Ah.
Yeah, like he's not doing well. But I also bet Will Levis over 3,375 passing yards. So, um, sling it. Oh wait, he's benched.
Yeah,
We need
they
Mason
benched him.
Rudolph to take a dive.
Yeah.
I did the math. In order for Will Levis to lead the league in passing, Joe Burrow and I guess theoretically a whole lot of other guys need to just like fucking cool it or just like not
Get
play
hit
at
by a
all.
bus?
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to say that, but yeah. And then Will Levis
You
has
meant it.
to, yeah,
You
kind
meant
of.
it though.
Will Levis has to get off the bench and throw for 2,081 yards.
Possible.
Hey, it could happen.
He would love to do that. If it were up to him, he would do it.
I'm trying to
Yeah,
find
but
where my Lions future is. I
Uh,
can't find it.
I have futures written down that I didn't take that I should
Well, we're
have.
not interested in that because you didn't take them.
All right.
You don't get anything, you don't gain anything from it.
All right. Well,
Um,
Take your futures. If you're
take
going
your
to give them out,
futures.
take them.
We were just having fun with futures.
when we were, this is unrelated, but it just made me think of this. We were talking about Tim Boyle earlier. He is one of the most fascinating football players I've ever like come across. Do you
How
know
so?
like he's played in the NFL for 6 years now?
Hmm.
Like, do you know his college stats?
No.
No.
At the University of Connecticut, where he played for 3 years, he never played more than 10 games in a season. He threw for 1,237 yards. Would you care to guess his touchdown to interception ratio?
Is it like
Half.
15
No,
to 20?
no, it's
What
not
is
even
it?
close. It's 1 to 13.
Ah.
He threw a touchdown in college, and he has played in the NFL for 6 years.
What the what?
That is, they
How
are
did this
like
happen?
generational talents sometimes that don't either just don't get drafted or just don't pan out in the NFL. This motherfucker, I mean, I love him. He is living the dream. Threw for he has one more touchdown in his collegiate career than the three of us combined. And he's played in the NFL for 6 years.
Where'd he go to school?
Connecticut.
Huh.
That blows my like how? Whose nephew is he? How did he get on a roster?
I don't know. With a name like Tim Boyle, he kind of sounds like a plumber or like an electrician, a tradesman.
I mean, he was probably close to doing that. He was probably like, all right, I'm just gonna learn how to
Learn how to weld.
be a blacksmith. And then who signed him? Someone, an NFL team came a calling, and he was like, "Are you serious?" I mean, all right.
My name is Tim Boyle.
I threw for one touchdown in college. You know this, right? All right. I mean, I'll suit up, and then he's just kept it going.
I should be installing water heaters.
He should be like selling carpets somewhere.
Tim Boyle.
I mean, I love this guy.
How did he get here?
We need to document it. We need a 30 for 30 about Tim Boyle. I just
Yeah.
need to know how. How did it happen?
Yeah. That's 1 and 13. That's
and he never played more than 10 games in a season. Like he was never like a star, or I guess he was a starter, but he was never like at UConn too. It was like you're some like backup at some like at LSU or someone you get in when you're kicking the shit out of like UL Monroe and Flash. It's like no, he was terrible at a terrible football school, and he's played in the NFL for over half a decade. I love it. I love him so much. He's the best.
Tim Boyle.
I googled how did Tim Boyle get drafted, and what came up was this Reddit thread a year ago that said, "How did Tim Boyle get on an NFL roster?" Tim Boyle's stats in his first 3 years at UConn: 25 games, 1,237 passing yards, 48 completion percentage. What the fuck? One whole touchdown, 13 interceptions. This is legitimately one of the worst 3 year stat lines I've ever seen. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe there was a bad situation at UConn. Maybe it was a coaching problem, or the team was just that horrible. Well, here are some stats from his one season after he transferred to Eastern Kentucky, an FCS school. 12 games, 2,134 yards, 11 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, and 61.5% percent completion. Uh, Better, but the competition dropped going from FBS to FCS. So the question is, how the hell did this guy get a job in the NFL? And not only that, but get multiple jobs on multiple different teams. Is there something going on here? Maybe I'm missing something on this story. No wonder the Jets were so hesitant to put this guy in. Now watch him torch the Dolphins on Friday.
Did someone answer?
I mean, there are comments, but
Hmm.
it's like Tim Boyle is such a backup QB name, and
Yeah.
it's
It
just
is.
like stuff like that.
Yeah. I looked up on ESPN. His first team was the Green Bay Packers in 2019. And so I don't know. Kind of sounds like they just needed someone to fill the spot and not compete for the starter. I don't know.
I just don't know how like an NFL scout finds this guy.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny that you say that.
I think maybe he just showed up to their practice
They're
or
having like open
something.
tryouts. It's like a Vince Papali situation.
So, on NFL Reddit, you can, tag yourself as a fan of what you are. And uh, this guy who is a Packers fan said maybe it's a UConn thing because it's exactly what Orlovsky was. And it's like Dan Orlovsky was at least decent in college. Tim Boyle wasn't even average. He wasn't even close to average. And then it's like, do NFL teams know they can just hire someone to the coaching staff? Like, and this Lions fan said he started a game for the Lions in 2021, and it was legitimately the worst football game I ever saw.
I kind of want to watch this Falcons Giants game.
Well, now I need a 30 for 30 on this guy.
Right?
I
What I'm
need
saying.
I need answers. I need to know how he's made it this far. I need to know why he's still getting paid, why he's still getting chances.
He's
I
made
get that like teams have a salary like cap floor on players that they need to pay. So maybe this is just like, let's get this guy in here to meet the minimum. Like he's probably not going to start. I mean, to be fair, at the beginning of the Giants season, they weren't probably going to go to Tim Boyle, At best, they were going to keep rocking with Daniel Jones. I mean, and at worst, they were going to go to
this
uh,
Tommy DeVito.
Tommy DeVito, exactly. And now they've just reached a whole new layer of just awful. So
We can't get
they're
any
just,
worse.
yeah, they're just kind of leaning into it, I guess.
I love it. I can't wait for. I really want to watch this Giants Falcons game. You get a guy who was in the national championship last year versus Tim Boyle, who has one touchdown at the FBS level.
Oh man. Yep.
Tim Boyle.
Let's go under.
Honestly, what's the Giants team total now? I might just take that because I don't know. Like, I don't think I've ever watched this guy play actual football. So I don't know if, like, maybe he just need to get to the NFL and get some weapons around him. But if that guy said it was the worst football game he's ever seen, maybe I need to capitalize on this.
I mean, on ESPN, he's played a decent amount of games. He said he played 5 games for the Lions in
Played
2021.
5? Yikes.
Yeah. And that must have been, what year did the Rams win the Super Bowl? Was that year?
Yes.
It must, like, Goff must have had an injury, or if Stafford was still on the team, had an injury. I can't remember which fucking year
That
it was.
it was with Goff, yeah.
He must have had an injury because he played 5 games,
Wait,
61. Yes?
Goff didn't win with the Rams.
No, we were talking
No, we're talking about,
Boyle.
like, Goff
Why-
was
why
on the
did-
Lions.
We were saying, why did Tim Boyle play
Oh.
5 games with the Lions?
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Okay, gotcha.
So, yeah, 5 games, 61 completions, 94 attempts, 64.9 completion percentage, 526 passing yards, average of 5.6, 3 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
I'm just looking at right now, Giants team total under 14.5 is plus money. I might have to take
So, do you think that they can score more than 2 touchdowns?
less than under 14.5.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
We're not very observant today. We can't really hear each other very well for some reason.
Sorry, I was thinking about the things that I was
Like, how
thinking
much-
about.
You think they can score? You think they'll score more than a touchdown? Under
Uh,
7.5 is 425.
Oh my god.
That might
mean,
be worth. That might be worth half a unit, honestly.
The Falcons' D is not very good.
I know, but the Giants aren't good at anything.
That's also true. That's a tough call. I'm gonna have to leave that one up to you.
We'll see. There'll probably be something about this. What's the
If you
tempo?
do it, I'll jump in at half a unit.
Oh yeah, I'm
for
not
that.
putting. Yeah, it'll be like
Yeah.
a half unit on something like this. But if
Yeah.
I go under 14.5, it'll be full unit. But we'll see. We're gonna play around with it. We'll get in the lab. We'll check it out.
We'll see what
Oh,
happens.
okay.
See what happens.
Well,
Check
let's
the
see.
Twitter. Check.
Did he
check the-
play it all? Did Tim Boyle play it all last week?
Yeah,
Yes,
I don't know
he
what he
did.
did, but I know he got in.
he.
I mean, they
Let's
got
look at his stat
Boat
line from
race, so
last
he didn't
week.
do anything good.
He had 12 completions, 24 attempts, 50% completion percentage, 123 yards,
And
one
a
touchdown, one
and an
interception.
interception.
So he did something. They didn't win, right?
No, they did not win.
No, they got beat rather badly, I believe.
They got beat
Oh,
by
yeah, that-
21.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was that was the Ravens. Tim Boyle, electrician.
I mean, damn. DeVito and Drew Lock couldn't score more than 7 against Tampa Bay.
Right? That's what I'm thinking. 425?
I'm curious. I'm
Better-
thinking about it.
Better call
My
Tim,
only
Tim Boyle, bar owner extraordinaire.
my only reserve is like, what if Michael Penix is awful? And he
Right.
throws like a pick 6 or something. Which even then, 7, like they could score 7.
Yeah, you're playing with fire at that point, though.
I know, but at that, I think I'm going to take it half a unit. Why not? Let's have some fun. 425.
I'll be in for half a unit. Count me in.
The Tim Boyle game.
That'll be fun.
Tim fucking Boyle.
We're taking the under anyways, so might as
Yeah,
well just.
honestly.
Yeah.
He's going to go out there and sling it.
No. Don't say that. Just keep your mouth shut about it.
Tim Boyle, roofer.
Oh God.
All this Tim Boyle talk has me thinking about that character from the Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah.
Boyle.
Oh.
That's all I picture.
Was that his name?
That's what they called him.
Oh.
I don't know if that's what his name was, but that's what they called him.
Because yeah, I was thinking about that too, but I was like, I don't remember what his name was. I just remember that he had a boil. I don't remember.
Elmer
Boyle
Boyle.
talked. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Elmer.
dude.
Yeah, that's his name.
Elmer Boyle.
And the Boyle talked.
Yeah, it was evil, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was like, "Be quiet, they can hear you. Silence, you fool." It's something like that. It was like, "What the fuck?" Hey,
Which-
also, I feel like we've talked about this on the I feel like we've talked about Tim
We've talked
Boyle.
about Boyle.
if
Elmer
we've talked about Boyle from Fairly Odd Parents, there's no way we haven't talked about Tim Boyle.
I think we've talked about Tim Boyle, which led us into the Boyle character
Oh my God.
from Fairly Odd Parents
I don't remember. Wow.
at least one other time on
This
this
is
show.
this is how fascinating Tim Boyle is. We can have an in-depth conversation about him and then just not remember it whatsoever.
Yeah. The most
man-
forgettable man in the NFL.
I need a jersey.
Tim Boyle, carpet cleaner.
He'll be on the Titans next season. You
I
might
would-
get your chance, Chris.
If he never plays, I would kind of love that. If he has to play, I'll hate myself.
He'll play eventually. Eventually, he will play.
Well, then I'll get a Tim Boyle Titans jersey. You can go next to my Rusty Smith jersey.
I can't remember the last time the Titans signed a backup QB and they didn't play. At least one game.
I mean,
Think about it.
I'll have to go back and look at the transactions, but no, I cannot think of one off the top of my head.
if the Titans sign a QB, he will play.
He
Okay,
will
let's
play
see.
eventually.
Who was the backup last year? Well, it was Will
Malik.
Levis. That was a
Was
stupid
Will Levis and Malik.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
They both played.
Shit. Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah.
And
Right.
Tannehill came in for Marcus a couple times.
Who was the
Well-
backup behind Marcus when he would before Tannehill when he would get hurt all the time?
Was it
There
Blaine
was
Gabbert?
Blaine Gabbert and there was
the Blaine train.
Blaine Gabbert and Matt Castle.
Oh, I forgot about Matt Castle.
I remember the 8-8 season winning in against the Colts. Marcus got hurt.
Watch Daddy
you-
sling it.
Then you just had to win with Matt Castle.
Oh yeah,
That's
that
all
was
you had to
Castle.
do.
That wasn't Gabbert. Yeah, you're right.
There was a situation
Yeah.
in the same situation with Blaine Gabbert.
That
But-
was the worst.
That was awful. We're forgetting one. Josh Dobbs.
Well, yeah, that goes with.
Yeah. Who was the backup when we were really good with Tannehill the year after he came in and Marcus was out?
What year was that? What year was
That would have been
Eight?
2019?
1919, yeah.
Right?
Shit.
1920? Who?
It wasn't. Well, we were pretty good in 22, but I think you were thinking of 19 when Tannehill was putting up like Mahomes like numbers.
Yeah, after the AFC Championship.
Yeah. Hold on, let's check it out.
Because who was man?
I don't know.
Because whoever the
That's an
backup was
excellent question.
did not play that year.
Well, it doesn't have- Just wanna look
Maybe
at
that's
this.
the last time.
Yeah. I can't even think of a name. Wow, that's crazy.
Oh, wasn't it still Marcus though? Or
No.
2019 was. It must have
No.
been 2021.
There was
What
no
year did we go to the AFC Championship? Was that 17? No, not 17. 18, excuse me.
That was 18-19 that we went to the AFC Championship. And then after we lost, Marcus went to like the Falcons, I think,
Well,
Yeah,
or the
Raiders.
2020 was when we went to the AFC. We were first in
Oh,
the
all of
division.
our. Okay, so that was the year after the AFC Championship.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
I can't remember who that backup was. And I think you two are on the case, so I'm not going to
I'm
look
trying
that
to
up.
look it up. It's hard to find depth. Yeah, it was Marcus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Marcus.
Because I thought the year that we put in Tannehill was Marcus's last year. Because I remember.
No, you're thinking of you're thinking of Logan Woodside.
Oh
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
Yes.
Logan Woodside. That's who took over when Marcus left
Yes.
because he was a backup. Logan Woodside. All right, I remember. Maybe I think actually that guy did play.
He did.
No,
Not
he did.
He did.
yeah. I don't think it was that year, but I think it was like
Didn't Woodside
one
isn't he one
time
of
or
those
two.
guys that got cut like a bunch of times, but we always like re-signed him
Yeah.
like
We
a
we
Yeah.
day later. He is
we
the
put him on the
Mason.
practice squad and like he
Yeah.
just kept coming up. He was like Barney in The Simpsons getting
Yeah.
kicked out of Moe's Tavern.
This is
It's like
or Logan Woodside is the Mason Kinsey of Titans quarterback. That's a Titans reference for you.
that is a Titans reference.
Is Mason
Oh,
Kinsey still on the team?
didn't he field a punt last week?
I don't know. I'm barely paying attention to these games. And you know what? I'm glad that finally this is the week nobody has a bet on the Titans game
Well,
because
we
that
can change
means
that real quick. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not
I'm
touching.
not
I'm
doing
not
it. I'm
fucking
not fucking
touching that
doing it.
game.
No, he's still he's on the roster.
Good for that guy. Whatever. Uh,
But yeah, if you play backup quarterback for the Tennessee Titans, you will be going in at some point. Just, I mean,
It's a good career move.
we've proved it. We've proved it.
yeah.
Just
That's
saying.
that's kind of hilarious. That's kind of hilarious. If you sign for the Tennessee Titans, you will play.
You will play here.
You will play for
I
the
don't want to
Tennessee
play. You're gonna.
You're fucking gonna. Kerry Collins, Matt Hasselbeck. They were actually good.
Yeah.
Trying to think of others from kind of back. Billy Volek, the OG.
It's sad when you miss the old days of the Tennessee Titans.
I miss our old backup quarterbacks. Mason Rudolph though does fit that like very like Kerry Collins, Matt Hasselbeck. I mean, those guys were better than Mason Rudolph, but it's like just
Matt
guys been.
Hasselbeck went to a Super Bowl.
That's what I was saying. He was better.
Yeah.
But like guys who've just been around a while. Grant Matt Hasselbeck was older, but still like been around a while. They get a chance, and they're actually pretty good. So good to know we're going back to our roots.
Great. Wonderful.
Tim Boyle,
Tennessee
HVAC,
Titan.
HVAC person.
I will buy a jersey if we sign Tim Boyle.
Wow, you might as well just fucking flush it down the toilet.
It's just fun.
That's not fun.
That's fun.
You might as well throw away $80.
If we're okay, I'm not going to buy like a real one. I don't think they make those. I have to go like to some overseas company to get that.
You could just go on the team website and just make your own.
Yeah, I could do that.
If you don't want one from Tunisia, like just sewn by a little 5-year-old girl.
Okay, well, now you're gonna. I was gonna say, this isn't worth, but I can't get an authentic one. It needs to be one from like somewhere in Asia with like Boyle spelled like Boyl. Like, no, it has to be shitty. It can't be real.
The O's have the little apostrophes over them or whatever, like an umlaut. Yeah.
Boyle. Tim Boyle, chimney sweep.
Those aren't even a thing anymore.
They are a thing.
They are a thing.
Chimney sweeps are a thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
What? 1800s?
It's not
I
like the
mean,
Mary Poppins chimney sweeps, but you know that
They
they
don't
yeah,
fly.
people still have chimneys, dude. What are you
yeah.
talking
But
about?
like,
You're supposed to get your chimney checked every single year if you want to use it.
really? Oh
Yes,
wow.
or there could be
Is that
fires.
like if you have like a real fireplace, or do you still have to do
Yes,
that if you have gas? Okay.
yes, either
Because I know
or.
my parents have a chimney. I don't think they've ever got it checked.
Hmm.
Oh, my parents have never gotten theirs checked because animals keep crawling into it and dying in there, and they just don't want to clean it
But
out.
they don't
Sounds like
use the
they
chimney
need a
though, right?
chimney sweep.
They fucking do, dude. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, but they just don't do it.
That's hilarious. They don't use their chimney sweep, do they?
They don't use their chimney. They haven't used their chimney in probably like 15, 20 years. Since
Okay,
I was a
well,
child, they have not used that chimney.
shit keeps going in there and dying.
As a kid, you could hear the squirrels crawl into the chimney and just
Oh
get
my
get
god.
stuck, and you could hear them like scratching against
Santa.
the walls.
Santa. All right, fellas. I am out of occupations I can think of for
I
Tim
could
Boyle.
call a chimney sweep to come to mind. I don't have a chimney, but I could call one right now. That's wild.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have a chimney sweep contact actually.
I didn't even know that blows my mind.
you haven't heard
Yeah.
of Ash Busters, dude?
No free ads, but
No free ads. There's not an ad.
I have not. No,
yeah, they
that's mind blowing. Well,
yeah.
learned something today.
Yeah.
I have a chimney sweep contact, so
Is it a child?
no.
No.
It's a fully grown adult man.
Well, at least we're progressive.
Unfortunately, it's not a child.
We're not
I
using
know that I know they can
6-year-olds
fit into
anymore.
tight places, but no.
Yeah. All right, fellas. I have run out of occupations to name for Tim Boyle, so I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for listening and watching. We really appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. Any interaction with this really, really helps us out, really helps our reach. Check out the Trend Center app. Link in the bio. 15% off a premium membership. The greatest tool on the planet for sports bettors. Yeah, Bandit might have a pick tomorrow. His pick hit last week. Bandit knows ball. Bandit knows ball. I think he's 7-5 now.
7-5.
Not a big deal. Check back, and we will see what we do for Christmas. Because there's just football on Christmas this year, right?
Yeah, it just falls in a weird time of the schedule, like where it's on a Wednesday, so it's hard to.
Yeah, it's the same 4 teams that are on this Saturday, but they're different opponents.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Oh, interesting. Cool. Well, we'll figure that shit out. Yeah. Thanks for listening and watching. We really appreciate it. See you next week. There's 3 of us. Now let's make some money.
Woo.